at the same time. As you can see here, I have a Astrophytum asterias which has 5 ribs, and this one is an Astrophytum super cabuto, and I think this one is a hybrid. I'm not really sure because I bought this plant and I'm not the one who propagated this. Now, okay, before we start, I'd just like to explain that why we really need to manually pollinate our Astrophytum plants. That's because this type of cactus are self-sterile. They are not capable of self-pollinating. So you have to manually aid them in order for them to be pollinated using pollen from another plant. So in other words, you have to cross-pollinate them. So today, I'm going to use the pollen of these 5-rib asterias. I'm going to use the pollen of this plant to pollinate the stigma of this Astrophytum asterias super cabuto hybrid. Okay. Now, what's the stigma? Here, as you can notice in the flower of the Astrophytum, in this asterias, this one is the stigma. The protruding portion of the flower. This one. This is a stigma, and this is where we're going to put the pollen so that it can be pollinated. The same as with the other plant. Here. The stigma. Okay. Now. Okay, let's start. First, I'm going to get some pollen from this Astrophytum super cabuto. Here, I'm going to get some pollen. Here it is. Here's the pollen, and then we're going to use this to pollinate the stigma of this Astrophytum asterias, with us 5 ribs. Now, you see, as you can see here, you have I'm just gonna put some pollen in the center of the stigma, like this. There. Okay. I'm gonna use more pollen for good measure so that I will be sure that it will be pollinated. There. That would be it for this Goryo. For this one, And next, okay. Hmm. Hmm. I'm gonna get some pollen from this one. I'm gonna transfer it to the stigma of the other plant. Okay, I'm gonna add some more. Yes. So basically that's it. Now, some additional things. Okay, some additional thing to clarify. Sometimes the pollination will fail. So when that happens, when the flower withers on the second or third day, uh, will not notice you will notice no obvious change on this part of the flower, on the base, because when the pollination is successful, this will eventually become bigger, this part, and then this is where the seed pods or the fruit uh, uh, becomes developed. And but when it becomes successful, you will notice obvious change in the size of this. It will become bigger, it become fatter, and after 2 weeks, around 2 weeks, you will notice that it will change color. It will change color, sometimes from green to brown, sometimes from green to red, and then it it will be matured enough in order for it to be harvested. In my experience, 2 weeks is already enough of a time for the seed pods or the fruit to become mature, for the seeds to become viable already. So after 2 weeks, uh, not when it becomes ready, sometimes it may burst open, but I suggest that you don't wait for it to burst open, because the seeds, some of the seeds might not become useful for you. Might become wasted. So wait for it for after 2 weeks, when it's already when you notice that when you move it around gently, when there's not much resistance, that means that the seed pod is already mature enough to be removed. That's obviously when there's a noticeable change in the color of the seed pod. So that's it. Basically, that's it. So I'm gonna wait for 2 weeks until this becomes mature enough. Uh, when the pollination becomes successful, and hopefully I can harvest lots of seeds from the seed pods that these two plants will produce. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much, and paalam.